Welcome to The Explainer, where we turn complex topics into clear, actionable guides. Today, we're going to talk about something that's literally over your head all the time, but we probably don't think about it enough: your home's roof.
So let me ask you this. What does a scorching 100-degree day, a massive hailstone, and a crazy 70-mile-per-hour wind gust all have in common? Well, they're all silent enemies of your home's most important protector. And honestly, understanding how they work together is the very first step to defending your biggest investment.
Okay, so let's get right into it. To really get a handle on this, you have to understand the constant battle your roof is fighting. It's not just one thing here and there. It's more like a coordinated assault from the elements.
And if you're in a place like Central Texas, for example, your roof faces this unique trio of threats that basically team up to accelerate all that wear and tear. We're talking about brutal summer heat that just bakes the shingles, wind gusts that can top 70 miles per hour, and of course, that punishing hail from severe thunderstorms.
Now, this constant expansion and contraction has a name. It's called thermal cycling. With attic temperatures that can soar up to 160 degrees, it literally cooks the life right out of asphalt shingles over time. And that causes all these cracks and makes them brittle, which, just makes them super vulnerable for the next big storm.
So, now that we kind of know what we're up against, let's talk about how you can spot the earliest signs of trouble. And the best part? You can do this all from the safety of the ground. You really don't need a ladder to be a good roof detective. First thing to look for, curling shingles. When you see the edges starting to curl up like that, it's a super clear sign of heat damage and just old age. The seals are failing, and those shingles are now prime targets to get lifted up and just torn right off by high winds. Next up, take a peek in your gutters. If you're finding all these little asphalt specks, well, it's kind of like finding sand in an hourglass. It means your shingles are losing that protective top layer, the very thing that shields them from damaging UV rays. And then we have the most obvious red flag of all, water stains on the ceiling. I mean, if you see this, it's a sign that water has already broken through all of your roof's defenses and is now causing damage inside your home. At this point, the problem is officially urgent.
But beyond those really obvious signs, there are more subtle clues that a problem is developing long before a leak ever starts. Things you can look for include blistering from trapped moisture, or maybe even a sagging roof deck, which could point to deeper structural issues.
So, you've spotted a problem. Now what? Well, you're at a critical crossroads, and you have to decide on the right course of action. And believe me, it's not always as simple as just getting a new roof.
This really lays out the two main paths you can take. A storm damage repair is like a rapid, surgical fix to stop a leak that's happening right now. A complete replacement, on the other hand, is a much bigger, planned project to address an aging system and bring your entire roof up to modern standards.
But there's actually a third way. And this is the smart way: proactive maintenance. This is all about extending your roof's life by tackling small problems before they become huge, catastrophic failures. Trust me, it can save you from making a much more expensive decision down the road.
All right, so let's say you do need a professional. What should you expect from a contractor you can actually trust? Knowing their process is so key to protecting yourself and your home. Look, a good contractor's process should always be transparent and predictable. It should follow 3 clear stages. It kicks off with a detailed inspection, moves into a professional installation with proper supervision, and then it wraps up with a final walkthrough to make sure you're totally satisfied.
And this right here, this isn't just a bunch of selling points. This is your personal checklist for vetting any contractor. For instance, a permanent local presence. What does that really mean? It means they'll actually be there to answer the phone if you have a warranty issue 5 years from now.
Okay, finally, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the technical details and paperwork that really separate a standard roof from one that's truly built to last. These are the things that cheap contractors often try to skip.
I want you to remember this number, 6. In high wind zones, the code actually requires 6 nails per shingle, not the standard 4. It might sound like a tiny detail, but using the right number of fasteners installed correctly can be the difference between your roof surviving a storm or, well, not. You're going to hear this term thrown around a lot: flashing. So, what is it? Put simply, it's the metal waterproofing that seals up the most vulnerable gaps on your roof. Around chimneys, vents, and where different parts of the roof meet. And this is exactly why it's so critical. This quote says it all. Improperly installed flashing is the #1 cause of roof leaks. Period. It's a detail that requires real, honest-to-goodness craftsmanship. And here's something else. A great contractor doesn't just fix your roof. They act as your advocate with the insurance company. By using the same exact software and documentation as the adjusters, they can fight for the full claim coverage that your policy actually provides.
And that's our explainer for today. We'll leave you with that final question to chew on about your own home. Is that 20-year-old roof a testament to its strength, or is it just living on borrowed time? We hope this guide empowers you to find that answer and better protect your investment. Thanks for watching.